And I'm in the kitchen with Private Chef Trey Corkern, brought to us by Su Casa magazine. What are we cooking today, Chef?
We're making beignets today.
Oh, so what goes into that?
It's a very basic recipe, just flour, baking powder, salt, and a little bit of milk, and then we cover them with powdered sugar and get messy and eat them.
Yeah, where do beignets actually come from?
Well, I think fried dough probably goes back as
Yeah.
far back as bread. I would think probably to the Roman Empire. But this is a New Orleans thing here, just real simple, fried, covered in powdered sugar. You know.
Yeah, and this is something you were saying maybe the kiddos might want to participate in too.
Yeah, my friend was in town for Christmas, and his daughter Lily was dying for some beignets, and I didn't really have the ingredients, and I kind of came up with a new recipe just from what I had laying around my house, so I can make them for her.
Yeah, excited about that. We'll be making beignets here, but first, let's send things over to Chad.
All right, we have found Kristen's happy place.
Yes,
and
this
it's
is
with
it.
Beignets. All right, Trey Corkern, brought to us by Su Casa magazine. So just very quickly, you cut that up and you're just throwing it in. They automatically puff themselves up.
Yeah, there's a little baking powder in these, and also just there's milk in them, so then obviously like when they hit the hot oil, the steam on the inside of them makes them blow up, and you can see that makes a little
Wow.
little pillows is
fast.
what they call them.
Yeah, very fast. So what is the temperature that oil's cooking at?
It should be around 350.
350?
But basically you want to get it to about to where it smokes, and then just turn it down, and that's the best way to tell
Right.
if you don't have a thermometer. So.
And you said that you created this recipe for the dough during the holidays, right? Just
I did.
Out of necessity.
Yeah, I've made them with yeast before, but as I said, my friend's kid wanted to have some, and you know everything was closed on Christmas, and there's no
Right.
store in Madrid anyway, so so I just kind of had to make it up, and I figured they would work with baking powder, so I had milk and baking powder, and so that's kind of where we went with that.
Okay.
So ingredient-wise, it's pretty easy.
This is a really simple recipe. Like I said, some people make them with yeast, some people make them with eggs, and they go back, you know, through French cooking, you know, all the way back to the Roman Empire, from what I've read, and so. You know, there's a lot of different recipes out there. Some people stuff them with, you know, jellies. Some people make savory beignets. You know, people put crawfish in them too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Now, one thing that I want to say before we run out of time here, Trey, you've got an event coming up at the Mine Shaft Tavern this weekend in Madrid. Speaking of Madrid, tell us a little bit about that.
It's the Crawdaddy Blues Festival. Lori Lindsay, who's taken over the Mine Shaft Tavern, has done a really great job with the food there. She's from South Texas, which is, you know, really close to Cajun country, essentially.
Right.
And she's just changed. Mine Shaft went from a place where you didn't want to eat to a place that you definitely want to eat.
Yeah.
They won the People's Choice Award in the green chili cheeseburger cook-off, and she's really embraced the idea of the Cajun food. So this year she's letting me take over. We're doing fried oysters and fried shrimp and catfish and crawfish boudin balls.
Wow.
And in addition to
That.
1,200 pounds of crawfish, too.
Yeah.
So-
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
The last part about this, the best part, in my opinion, sugar, right?
Okay, you ready? Okay, so
Yes.
take a few of these and put them in a bag. This is the
Okay.
part I like. Both of you can do this. The part I liked when I was a kid, you know, my mom would fry these up on
And
a
it's just
Saturday
got
morning.
powdered sugar in there.
Just take 3 or 4 of them, put them in there, close it off, and just shake them up.
Ooh.
All right, guys, we're going to get to this shaking. We'll be right back.